Star Wars 7x7, episode 2626. So earlier this week I was actually expressing my surprise that there are no audiobook versions of Star Wars Myths and Fables and Star Wars Dark Legends and now the Life Day Treasury, right? They seem like they would really lend themselves to that. Well, it turns out that there are a couple of them after all, and funnily enough, that's going to be what the What to Watch Now segment is about today. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So the other thing that ties into this whole situation is how a couple of weeks ago I did a What to Watch Now segment because something on the Disney Plus channel on YouTube had caught my attention, and so I went back through the history of the Disney Plus YouTube channel and just picked all the Star Wars videos that were, videos that were all about Star Wars basically, and had something new and interesting to do and say, and put them in a playlist on YouTube so that way you could check them out and you wouldn't have to go through all 300 some odd videos. Actually, it was probably double that because that was just 300 videos in 1 year anyway. So there's a Disney Plus YouTube channel, but there's also just a straight up Disney YouTube channel, and that has even more videos. So considering the fact that Disney Plus has only been around for a couple of years, I sort of made my arbitrary cutoff point, Star Wars Celebration 2019, so a little over 2 years, and went back through the Disney channel and found about 15 videos that are Star Wars specific, and now those are on a playlist attached to my YouTube channel, and I will link them at the blog post for this show's episode at sw7x7.com and also in the show notes for this episode. So if you want to go straight there and not have to hunt through hundreds of videos to check it out, then there you go. And a lot of the videos on that playlist are Storytime videos, to circle back around with what I was saying at the top of the show. So in the early months of the pandemic lockdown here in the US in March, April, and May, one of the things that Disney did on their YouTube channel was have these Storytime videos published, I think pretty much every day, and all across Disney properties and whatnot. And of course there were Star Wars ones as well. And so in regard to Myths and Fables, there are actually two Storytime videos that are specific to Star Wars Myths and Fables by George Mann. One of them is read by Clark Gregg. You might know him better as Agent Coulson in the Marvel movies and in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he reads The Witch and the Wookiee from Myths and Fables. And then they also have a guy named Alex Hanold who is basically the subject of the documentary Free Solo. He is a professional rock climber, and he reads the story of the Knight and the Dragon, which is the sort of veiled, probably Obi-Wan Kenobi story in Myths and Legends. Myths and Fables, excuse me. Dark Legends, but Myths and Fables, sometimes I get them mixed up. Anyway, so yeah, and what's really cool about those two also is that they have scans of the pages from the book so that they put that up on screen and you're kind of going through like that. That isn't the case with all of them, but there's still a great charm to the other Storytime episodes that they have on their channel. And so here are the other Star Wars stories and storytellers you'll find in that playlist and on the Disney YouTube channel if you want to really go to all that trouble. So Bobby Moynihan reads C-3PO Does Not Like Sand, and Bobby Moynihan, of course, from Star Wars Resistance and Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Then you have Ashley Eckstein, Ahsoka Tano herself, and she's reading a book about Rey called The Galaxy Needs You. And speaking of Rey, Daisy Ridley is part of this as well. She reads BB-8 on the Run. And then I know I, Americanize it and say Anthony Daniels, but he pronounces it Anthony. Anthony Daniels reading from the Star Wars Galactic Adventures storybook and a story in there called R2-D2 and the Renegade Rescue. And last but not least, Eunice Sutamo. Yes, that's how you pronounce it. I listened to the video very carefully multiple times. Eunice Sutamo, who played Chewbacca in the action scenes of The Force Awakens and then further completely in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. And he reads Chewie and the Porgs and does sound effects for R2-D2 in addition to doing Chewbacca growls as well, which is just so beautifully heartwarming. Then maybe it's a little odd to decide for yourself, hey, I'm a grown adult, I'm gonna go watch the video of Eunice Sutamo reading Chewie and the Porgs. but I tell you, it does your heart good, and I think we could all use a little of that, maybe even a little more of it than we normally do. So there you go. Again, I will link to that playlist in the blog post for the show's episode at sw7x7.com and in the show notes as well. And that is going to do it for today's episode of the podcast. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it, as always, and may the force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.